Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and on this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answers they need from an employment attorney. I'm in a mood today. People have been acting crazy. I'm not taking messages on the Instagram anymore. 99% of you were cool about it. Please don't think I'm attacking you, but some weird stuff coming through. I didn't make a YouTube channel to get dates, which I would think would be obvious. So you can take that shit and fuck right off. And all the weird shit. Just farewell. All right, I got a question here from YouTube user A, who asked us one day ago. This is so timely. I'm extremely grateful. Awesome. I hope it helped. I just received a representation offer like this. Okay, so this was posted on our video about kind of like a settlement artist retainer that was shared with us that we talked about in the video. It was posted on February the 3rd of 2023. And then YouTube user A goes on to ask, the next big question is, how do I know if I'm one of the few who can be helped by a flipper? Or whether I should turn this firm down and keep looking? Okay, I'm going to pause right here and answer that question before I go on, because there's a little bit more to the question. You can be helped by a flipper if your expectations are in line with what the flipper thinks they can flip your case for. And you just have a very frank conversation. You can be like, listen, seems like from your retainer that you really only want to settle my case. And I need to know in what range, no bullshit. Don't lie to me and tell me you're going to win me $1 million. What are you actually going to be trying to get me? And I think the average flipper who's going to hear, oh, this person's not going to hire me if I lie to them right now, will tell you, listen, I think I can probably get you between 10 and 40 grand, something like that. I don't know what they're going to think. Depends on where you are in some part, but that's what I suspect they're going to say to you. And if whatever that attorney says is in line with what you actually want to settle your case for, then you are in fact somebody who can be helped by a flipper. Although I would tell you that maybe you want to say, okay, awesome, that works for me, but I want a lower percentage because I'll settle for that, but you're not going to do a lot of work, right? That's just a conversation. That's how you know if you can be helped by a flipper. Setting aside obvious big cases like sexual harassment, violence in the workplace, or frivolous cases that no lawyer or EEOC investigator is interested in, not even a protected. Okay. So he's just saying, like, listen, that whole question was like, how do I know if my case is one that could benefit from a case flipper? Somebody who just settles cases very rapidly for potentially lower value. I think we answered that. Then there's some other posts here. And then YouTube user A goes on to say, I'm in this position where I want to go all the way, but the attorney says the case was worth less than 6 figures, so it's not worth the trial. Hence, they offered me this contract just to flip the case, just to settle the case. Would you be prepared to go to trial for less than a 6-figure case? If so, how can I get representation for a mid-range case while avoiding case flippers? Thanks. Okay, so here's the key point. And it's different in different jurisdictions, right? I'll give an example based on New York because that's where we got our start, right? So in New York, you can file a case in federal court or state court, but if you have a lower value case that you do want to take to trial, like you don't want to settle it, but you do want your day in court, so to speak, you can file that case with the New York State Division of Human Rights and get a 2-day hearing potentially and have your day in court, right? And fight it out. And that allows you your day in court even on a lower value case. Like, listen, frankly, if you're asking me, can I spend 40 grand, 60 grand on a federal litigation for a case that's worth 40 grand? No. No, I can't. The firm wouldn't exist because I'm spending more than your case is potentially worth, more than I could hope to win on the case. Expert witnesses, filing fees, court reporters, deposition, telephonic deposition, like all this stuff adds up really quickly, right? Copying costs, like there's scanning, having big teams go through 600,000 pages of discovery. Like, this is expensive stuff, right? Not even getting into the hundreds of attorney hours we might throw at a trial, right? So, no, I can't afford to do that. But what I might be able to afford to do is, oh, your case is worth 40 grand, 60 grand. Okay. You don't want to settle it? Okay. I support you. I believe in you. I'm not going to tell you got to settle your case. I don't believe in attorneys telling you you have to settle your case or else. I think that's fundamentally wrong and unethical. So what we'll do, we'll look at the option of going to the State Division of Human Rights hearing, which we can afford to do for you. And we can afford to give you your day in court. And that's good for you because that's what you wanted. That's what you self-determined you wanted. Was that the right choice? I don't know. I don't know your case. I don't know anything about it. Like, listen, if the offer is $2,000 and you wanted 60, then I think that's a really good choice. If the offer was 80 grand and you wanted 30 billion, on average, you made a bad decision, right? Like, I don't know that. There could be a $30 billion case, I guess, if you earn a lot of money and you've been horribly wronged. It theoretically could happen to some extent, right? I mean, depending on the laws you're dealing with and the caps in place and, this and that. But I suspect, statistically speaking, that your case is not worth 30 billion. So you might have made a bad decision on that one. I don't know, right? But it's a good decision for me, either way. And I'll tell you why. So one, I did the right thing. I backed my client's play, right? My client said, listen, I know you got me this offer, whatever, 80 grand. You got me the offer 80 grand. And I know that's probably more than I can hope to win, but I want to go to trial. Objectively a bad decision. Just not smart. But I can feel good about backing you. And I can feel good about something else. I'll tell you what that is. I'm teaching defense counsel that we try cases, even when it doesn't make sense. That's really good for my brand. It's really good for how defense attorneys speak about our firm to other defense attorneys. When a defense attorney comes and sits down at the mediation table and talks settlement, in their head, they could be thinking, oh, this firm doesn't try cases. Lowball. Or they could be like, oh, this fucking guy, he'll try anything. God damn it, right? We could give him a better offer. Give him a better, he's a maniac. They'll back this play. They'll back this client to the end. Give him a better offer, right? And so what you end up with is a really strong reputation with defense counsel that leads to better settlements for your clients in the long run. And that has real value. So, YouTube user A, when you're asking me if I'd be prepared to go to trial for less than a six-figure case, routinely. Yeah, routinely. We do that. And when you ask me then, if so, how can I get representation for a mid-range case while avoiding case flippers? Frank conversations with attorneys. Check the dockets. Check if they file cases. Check if they're trying cases, right? Ask them for their recent verdicts. Also have a conversation. Just frank conversations. Like, okay, so I'm not going to take X amount on this. Like, if you get me this much, I would settle, but I'm not going to take 10 or 20 grand. You understand that, right? And they're going to be like, oh, yeah, totally. Like, don't just yes me. I need you to understand, if you're taking this case on, I don't want you to waste money. I want to be on the same page. So, if you're taking this case on, you're going to work this case, I need you to grasp, I'm not taking 10 or 20 grand, right? Excuse me. And so, don't take this case unless you're willing to fight for a little bit more money for me, and ultimately, if you're willing to try this case. You might need to. Don't come in and be like, listen, no settlements ever, trial only, because a lot of firms are not going to. Like, well, listen, that might not be the best deal for them. There might be firms, even firms that want to try cases, that are like, why would you turn that? If they offer you 100 cents of the dollar, why would you turn that down? I'm not going to, right? We have videos about that too, right? But this is what I would recommend. Like, just, hey, what's your trial approach? What's your plan? If this case doesn't settle and you know I'm not going to settle for this or that, how are you going to work it? How are you going to work the case? Would you invest in this case? Are you going to be assigning a trial team? Like, how's that going to look? Can I meet them? You know, I mean, these are all reasonable questions. And I think these are things that I'd probably tell you to look into. And I hope this helps. I know it's a little amorphous. I know it's not the most clear-cut answer, but I can't give you a magic tool. Not that you're asking for one, but I can't give you a magic tool to like see into the minds of the attorneys in your locale where you are and say, this one's a good egg, right? I can't do that. I don't have that power. Could I do that if I sat down and spoke with them for an hour? Probably. Yeah, I feel pretty confident that I can figure out what's up. But I can't offer that service to you just because the internet and volume, right? The amount of contact we're getting is getting unmanageable, frankly. It's getting beyond. We're not responding to most messages. Like, obviously, potential clients, we're dealing with those. We're trying to help those people, but like, just the volume of people like, value my case. You're not my client. I'm not going to spend 2 hours valuing your case. That's not a reasonable ask. Go hire an attorney, right? Sorry, it's just not a like. Getting multiple of those every single day, and then when you don't respond to them, they're like, I'll leave you a bad review. You're not my client. Be gone. Right? I don't owe you anything. I'm trying to help, and you're trying to punish me for trying to help people. Get out of here. Right? I said I was in a mood. All right. Anyways, YouTube user A, I hope that this helps you. I very much do. If it does, like, subscribe, comment down below. That helps me to help more people just like you. Remember, everybody works. Not everybody wins. And if you're not my client, don't ask me for multi-hour free projects. Not going to happen. I got clients. I got a business to run. This right here, this thing that we're doing is what I do to help. Okay? It's not getting on the phone with you for 5 hours doing a case valuation or whatever it is you're asking for. It's not that. Okay? All right. Take care, everybody.